topic, so there probably won't be any jokes and laughs along the way, by the way, so do stay with me. It's not really something to joke around. I'm going to just go through a little bit of background around what is integrity. We'll have a look at a couple of case studies, and then just a few things that I think we can all put in place in our organisations that may at least start to lessen that threat that we are all about to face and have been facing. Just a little bit about me and our business. So I work for SRI. We are a global executive search and consulting firm. You might think, well, why on earth are you talking about integrity? We've been involved in some very significant projects around integrity in sport. One particular one with the Tennis Integrity Unit. For anyone that doesn't know, Tennis Integrity Unit is run and funded by the Australian Open, the French Open, the US Open, the Wimbledon Championships, the ITF, the ATP, and the WTA. That's pretty much the whole of tennis, so they pretty much control it. But they've had a lot of issues in the past around integrity in their sport, particularly around match fixing. And they commissioned a huge report to help guide them into the future. We'll talk a bit about that later. And we helped to hire their whole new independent board, which is one of the key recommendations of that. Another project that we've been involved with is with the Hong Kong Jockey Club. Now, don't be fooled, this is much more than a race course. I think the turnover is something like 280 billion. They have a complete monopoly around betting in Hong Kong. They are also one of the largest charitable contributors and one of the largest employers in Hong Kong. So integrity and security to them is absolutely key and core to their business model. So we would all know, because we hear and we love sport, that sport offers us a tumultuous time of ethical highs and lows. How happy are we when we see an athlete pick up another athlete that's fallen over? When we see kids delight when they finally make that personal best at a local athletics track meet? And how disappointed and devastated are we when we have to explain to our sons and daughters that the person with that gold medal actually is a drug cheat? So this is why it's so important to us to maintain that purity of our sport. But integrity in sport is much more than just doping. And we're going to go through the dimensions of that in a moment. But first of all, what is integrity? And this is one of the challenges. It's the practice of being honest, of showing a consistent and uncompromising adherence to strong moral and ethical principles and values. It's essentially about doing the right thing. But how do you define what's right? What you think is right may be different to what you think is right, to what they think is right, to what another federation thinks is right. So it really does get quite complex. What you have to ask yourself is, what is your organisation's code? And until you know what that's going to be, you will never be able to set out that map and that framework for change. So a couple of case studies. This quote at the top, and this is a terrible episode to even discuss. The widespread abuse of Larry Nassar across gymnastics, various organisations, most notably at the USA Gymnastics Association. Simone Biles, what an amazing athlete. She made a very interesting quote to the USAG. You had one damn job, and that was to protect us, and you failed. They failed to safeguard, but more importantly than that, they failed to follow that, right? They didn't follow or act. So they failed to safeguard, and they followed that by failing to act. They prioritised their own reputation over the health and safety of athletes, and left a trail of destruction in their wake for hundreds and hundreds of athletes. Whilst I don't really want to talk about the business side, because the personal devastation is enough, but on the business side, there was decertification by USOC, the total board resignation, and a sport in absolute ruins. And that's what performance over protection gave them. That's what medals over models gave them. On a slightly less devastating note, particularly around harassment and abuse, the Tennis Integrity Unit commissioned a report which spiraled to almost $30 million. Wouldn't it have been nice not to do that and put that into grassroots development of the sport? But what this report came out to say is they need to establish a newly empowered unit overseen by an independent supervisory board. I can't stress enough if there's one thing to take out of this few minutes, it's about the need for independence across any of your ethics and integrity in your organisation. They also wanted to focus a lot on education. So whereas in the past the focus has been very much on detection, whilst that still of course has to happen, they wanted to focus on education and revise their approach to the investigation and detection, and also encourage national and international cooperation in enforcement. The integrity problems weren't so much at the top level, they're at the lower levels of sport, and this is where the significant vulnerability occurs. Illegal gambling is spiralling, meaning sports are ripe for corruption. Compromising the integrity of sport as there's no purity of competition. If it's not a fair fight, if it's not a fair race, if it's not a fair match, people are not going to want to see it. They're not going to want to bet on it. And whether we like it or not, betting revenues are still quite significant, are very significant, and are only going to grow in sport. So this area is a really focused area for us to get hold of. When you look at illegal betting, these operators don't follow any best practice. They will not highlight that large wages have been offered. And this is where the problems happen. And athletes who are not paid well are vulnerable to fixes. So don't think that this is just about the Ronaldos or the big Premier League coaches. This is about athletes probably in your sports, maybe at lower levels of competition, people throwing matches for a couple of thousand USD, and now starting to go into the esports arena as well. So how do we take care of the future? I think we skipped this slide earlier, it was supposed to be there. One of the things that I think most people believe around integrity in sport is it's just about doping. Now whilst that's of course an incredibly focused area, there are many different dimensions. As we saw with USAC, prevention of harassment and abuse, anti-illegal betting, killing our sport at many levels, anti-corruption, bribery, anti-doping, prevention of manipulation and fixing, and broader ethics, transparency, and good governance. When I was given 15 minutes to whistle stop through integrity, it was a little bit daunting because really this could go on for hours, and many people have days of conferences around integrity in sport, and I do hope that that will start to continue in terms of focus. But if we look very simply, because it is an overwhelming area, of what can you do? What can you do to make those first steps? First of all, we would suggest a health check. Can you run a balanced scorecard about where you are on each of those 6 areas of the dimensions of integrity? Can you be honest and open and really say, yes, we're doing well here, we're exposed here, this is a huge risk? So a health check. Start to accept you may have some problems. Start to accept you may well have some problems in the future, and start to attack them. Collaborate. This isn't like commercial secrets, right? When you don't want to talk to another organisation of how they got that multi-million-dollar sponsorship deal. I get that. You don't want to give away those secrets. But these secrets about how to combat how to improve the integrity in sport, they must be shared, and you must collaborate. So talk to people, start that conversation, find out who's doing it well and who you can learn from. Education is key. Many people wouldn't have even known that there are 6 dimensions across integrity, right? So just being able to share those elements, particularly amongst the harassment, anti-harassment and abuse and safeguarding. Safeguarding isn't even a word used across Asia, and this could be an incredible problem for us in the future. So really start to educate everyone in your organisation about what integrity for your sport really means. And finally, I would always ask that you bring in independence. Okay? Many sports and local sports are run by potentially ex-athletes, incredible volunteers, people that have been around for an awful long time. And as is the case with someone like Alawi Nasser, we're trusted by that community. Only when you have some independence in your ethics committees, on your boards, in your non-executive roles, will you really be able to challenge yourself and find a pathway through.